Hi there, welcome to Arctic Spas Vancouver Island and another video. I'm John Keirstead, your smart friend in the hot tub business, and today we're talking to you about Gecko's in.touch system. So the in.touch system from Gecko allows you to remotely access and control your hot tub. So this in.touch system can actually be added to any Gecko spa pack. So in addition to our Core series and our Classic series, any other spa brand that uses Gecko materials, you can add this on. So it's an add-on. Basically, you see these two little doodads here. These are your devices. One of these gets put in underneath the hot tub next to the spa pack, and then the other one gets wired and plugged in next to where your router is in your house. So if you'll have like this Ethernet cable. It's pretty easy to hook up. And then basically what this allows us to do is use our smartphone or our iPad, whether you use an Android version or iOS, Apple version. This is compatible with both. So what does it allow you to do? So let me see if I can get this up here on my app here. So this is actually the Duncan Store Be Well hot tub, which uses a Gecko. You can see right here, when I go into the app, it immediately allows me to see what the temperature of the spa is. You can see the little wheel that's turning there. That's the pump 1. That's the pump 1. And you see it's spinning slowly. These are all just like I was using the top side. So when you go to the top side here, you gotta first get it open. You see they're the same, right? So it's spinning slowly, here it's spinning slowly. So basically it's allowing the same software that's operating here, allows us to wirelessly have the same software here. So for instance, if I wanted to operate the spa, I can go in, you see I hit that button. If you look on the top side, it's spinning faster now. You look here, it's spinning faster. You can see the wheel or this dot around the circle there is spinning faster. If I want to put on the secondary pump, same thing. If I wanted to change my temperature, I can scroll up or down to change the temperature. If I want to introduce the lights, on, off. Let's try that again. There, on. You can see the lights. It doesn't show up when the lights are so bright here, but you can see if you're looking at the controls or you're looking at some of the accent lighting. Even on the cabinet, there's cabinet lighting on the outside of this tub that shows up. And if I wanted to, I could actually go in and play with that light. Let's go in here. Oops. So there's I'm getting ahead of myself here. It also has some messages here. It says that the spa has reached its set point. So it's at 103. If I was only at, or pardon me, 104. If I was at 103 and I wanted it to go to 104, it would tell me that the spa is heating up or the spa hasn't reached the set point yet. Set point is reached. The spa is in use. Okay, that's the spa state. Here's the other thing. If I wanted to actually change the color, you can see just by moving this and touching different areas of this light, it's actually changing the color. And what I like about this is that on a lot of spas, the lights that you use, you have to scroll through. They have set modes. So you have to go through 12 or 14 different modes to get to the color that you like. Whereas with this, you can just touch the screen. If I want blue, I want yellow, I want red, it's automatically going to change that. And it's also going to remember that. So if I exit from here, it's going to remember when I turn that back on, it's back at that same color. So it remembers it. If I wanted to go to a different color, so it's green, I go back, I turn it off, I turn it back on, it's green. So it has a memory function. So if your favorite color is blue, you can have a blue spa. That's actually one of the reasons why I really like pushing the lighter colored hot tubs, not only because we push saltwater spas, but also it's the most reflective color. So whatever color of lighting you use, that's what the whole tub's gonna look like when you're using your spa at night. So Why else? What else can you do with this? Well, you can do all your basic controls, but there's also some calendar functions and stuff in here where I can go into my water care and I can set different modes in here. So I can go in and I can tell it to be in different cycles. I can go into my filter cycles, tell it to come on and off. I can set every parameter from the app. Is actually easier, I find, than actually doing from the top side. Although this particular top side, oh, it's shut off on me here. This particular top side, because it's fully digital, it's kind of like a mini iPad. You can do almost the same stuff from here as well, because they've got these settings. I can go into the individual things here. And so the app is very similar in that way. Right, so if I go back here and I go back to, right now we're in this calendar setting here, right here, that's actually the same as this. But there's lots of top sides on Geckos that aren't this in depth, right? This one's actually mirroring, it can do pretty much everything the app does. So you might say, well, why would I need this then? Well, what's cool about it is that you can actually use this if you are in another city. Anywhere you have Wi-Fi, this is going to allow you to play with the spa. So if you have friends over and they're babysitting your spa for you, you can actually turn the jets on, turn them off, kind of mess with them if you really want to, turn the lights on. Maybe you're not going to do that, but the truth is that it's nice to know that the hot tub's functioning properly. It's filtering properly. One of the things you can see here is these energy saving modes. So I can actually tell it when to come on and when to come off, or when to enter an economy mode and when to not have the economy mode. Why might I do this? Well, if I am away and I'm on holidays, I don't have to keep the spas hot. So when you enter an economy cycle, it actually lowers the set point by 20 degrees. So you're not heating this up to a temperature as high because people aren't using it as much. Now, if you have people that are using it, then you won't use that function. The other thing that this allows us to do is program peak settings. So if certain times of the day, your power, like in some cities like Toronto and Vancouver, they charge you a different rate for the electricity at different times of the day. So you can actually tell it, don't heat during those times of the day because heating costs the most amount of money. And if I can pay a lower kilowatt hour price in the off-peak hours, then I can arrange and set that all within here. I can also do things like tell it how often to filter, when to start those, how long to filter for. I always tell people, you know, if you have a spa that recovers the waste heat from the pumps, then you should err on the side of having your filtration run longer rather than shorter, except maybe if it's in the heat of summer, you know, because then it could actually overheat. But I've done a lot of testing with these various economy modes and stuff, and what I find is that if I tell the heater not to come on for 12 hours of the day, as soon as that peak period ends, it goes, hey, it's 2 degrees low, turns the heater on. And so you don't really get the advantage of the waste heat that the pump produces because you're immediately turning the heater on as soon as that cycle ends, that peak range ends. So you hit off peak, then it comes on. So the moral of the story is if you're recovering waste heat, filter often. You can't over filter your water. And any of that excess energy that's being used to run the pump motor is also going to heat your spa. And you really, you know, if you filter this water more, your ozonator is going to be on more, your tub is going to be cleaner. And I think clean hot tub is really, really important because that's going to make the use of the hot tub more exciting. So that's all these other modes are: super energy mode, weekend mode. They're all just variations of the economy mode. Realistically, stay in standard mode unless you're going away. If you're going away, then you can put it I'm away from home mode and you won't be heating it, as long as while you're away nobody else is using your spa, or they're going to go, why isn't my spa heating up the way it's usually heating up? And that would be the reason why. So that's a water care. So just to show you a little bit more accurately how you could go in, when you click on the little pencil, that's the edit pencil, right? So I'm going to click the pencil. Right now it's set for 4 filter cycles. I could actually go in and tell it which time I want it to start and for how long. So by scrolling this up and down, I can specifically tell the time of day. And I think pretty much all of the Gecko packs now have a clock in them, so you can actually specifically say at 5 o'clock come on, at 6 o'clock come on, whichever day, and for how long. This is particularly important because a lot of the times when the filter cycle first initiates, there's a blowout cycle, and some people's spa is close to their bedroom or their neighbor's bedroom, and so you might not want it to come on at 3 o'clock in the morning and have that blowout cycle. So you could actually set it so it doesn't come on during that time. Let's see if I can add more filter cycles. I think I can minus filter cycles, right? Now we got no filter cycles, 0 filter cycles, just add. Okay, now you see here, there's no start times, so I have to put start times on here. Apply changes, and there, now I've set a filter cycle. And I can set it for whatever time I want. I'm messing with the showroom spa here, so see if the salesman catches it, see if he's saying. And the other thing, of course, I could just reset the settings and it will go to the default setting, whichever that is, which I believe default on most of these is 4 filter cycles for 2 hours. But you get the idea. You can customize that. You can actually see how it says here also every day. I could actually have it so that on the weekend it has different filter cycles because I use the spa more on the weekend, so maybe I filter more or filter longer. Monday to Friday, just Saturdays because Saturday's hot tub night, right? So it gives you complete flexibility as to how you want your filter settings set up. Now there's another feature on here that I'm hoping that they'll change a little bit. Right now they have this reminders section, and I think the reminders section is really great. And what are the things they're reminding you to do? Oh, rinse your filter with the hose. Well, that's useful if you use a pleated filter. They got the pleats on them and you can rinse that with the hose. You could rinse off a depth filter, but it's only going to rinse off the very outer part of that. But it's more of a check your filter every 30 days. That's not a bad reminder to have. Clean the filter in solution every 60 days if it's a washable filter. Again, if you're not using a washable filter, then this won't apply. Change your water every 90 days. Change your water every 90 days. Interesting. You know, if you've been watching our other videos, that you change your water every 90 days because that's what most manufacturers recommend you do if you're on a chemical maintenance system. But so that's why I'd really like Gecko to allow us to adjust this, because we have lots of people that once a year they change their water, or up to 2 years. It really depends on use. The more you use your water, the more pressure that it gets, the number of people and that sort of thing, the more often you're going to have to drain and fill it, because eventually the water is going to get full. But these are good, and I like this one here. Have a spa checkup required every 730 days. Why Gecko decided 730 days was the right time frame? I recommend that you do a spa checkup at least once a year, and we'll do another video on what would a spa checkup look like, but that gives you an idea. So I'm going to go back to Gecko. I'm going to ask them, allow us to edit that, because it seems to me if you can edit your filter cycles and that sort of thing, should be able to edit the reminders as well, and I can have it set for my own use. Maybe these reminders need to be more often or less often. If I'm running an Airbnb at my vacation home, maybe I set reminders much sooner. Change the filter. I might want to do change filter after each guest, or change, so you can, having that flexibility to change that default setting that they have here, I think would be useful. You can see right now this spa is actually locked. I can't change any of these things. There's these little locks that are here. Of course, I can unlock. I'm trying to press here. It's going to ask me for a code. I don't even know the code. Maybe somebody else has put it in or otherwise. But from the app, I can go into settings and I can look up lock spa. I can choose unlock the spa, which will take those away. I can choose to partially lock, which means I can have access to certain things and not other things. Or I can fully lock it, which means now when I press stuff here, you notice nothing's happening. I can't change anything without putting in a code, which I haven't set a code for that. I find from the app, unlocking and locking the spa is far easier because then people don't have to remember a PIN code or otherwise. So I unlock it. Now I can go in and I can have access. I can change things once again. If it's locked, I can't do that. So some people have been asking, can I control my salt system? You know, if you have Arctic Spa Core series or Classic series with Onzen, it'd be nice to adjust that. It's not available yet. And this also won't control Spa Boy. But if you know, Spa Boy isn't a Gecko product. Spa Boy is our own controls, and that has its own, and of course you can control every aspect of your spa with the custom series spas. So no, not yet is the answer. I know that Gecko's working on it with Blue Falls so that you can control your salt system with it. So that's coming soon aspects. Well, that's kind of the rundown on this remote access in-touch 2 system from Gecko. It's available as an add-on for any Gecko hot tub, right? So any hot tub that uses Gecko controls, you can add this in-touch and access your spa from anywhere in the world. Thanks for watching the video. I'm John Keirstead from Arctic Spas, Vancouver Island, your smart friend in the hot tub business.